China says it has reached a strategic consensus with India to deepen mutual trust. This as Premier Li Keqiang meets with Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in New Delhi. On Monday, the two sides signed agreements to expand cooperation between their countries. The deal includes a mechanism to settle border disputes. Now, joining me now for more on the China-India relationship is Victor Gao, Executive Director of Beijing Private Equity Association. Victor, welcome back to the show. I want to ask you, why did Premier Li Keqiang choose India as his first foreign stop?
Well, as you know, this is the first overseas trip by Mr. Li Keqiang as the Chinese Prime Minister. And during the first overseas trip, he chose India as the first foreign country to visit. So this has a lot of implications, not only for China, but also in India and in this part of the world. I think this decision demonstrates that China attaches a great deal of importance to its relations with India, and these two largest populations in the world need to cooperate and do their best to put their differences behind them and focus on the common challenges and the opportunities between the two countries. And I think this visit is being done in this spirit, and hopefully the Indian side would also reciprocate. Of course, the border issue is important and very difficult to settle. However, both countries should refuse to let the border dispute be a liability and holding them back from cooperation in other areas. So China and India, despite the border dispute, can actually positively cooperate and create a win-win situation for both countries.
And as you mentioned, there are a lot of issues. What do you think Premier Li is trying to accomplish on this particular visit?
Well, I think, first of all, both China and India are members of the BRICS countries. Both are very important emerging markets. And China and India's bilateral trade is actually very small compared with their potentials. And therefore, I think for China and India at the top leadership level to make an effort and go an extra mile to promote trade, promote exchange of information and personnel between the two countries, and really identify more and more common ground going forward. That is the challenge. Furthermore, I think the Indian subcontinent traditionally is very important to China, and the Indian Ocean is a traditional shipping lane for many of the commodities and energy resources that China needs to import from the Middle East and from Africa. Therefore, I think the Chinese importance attached to India and the Indian Ocean is very important. And I think the effort towards expanding trade with India and improving relations, and also try to be wise enough for New Delhi and Beijing to come up with a mechanism to resolve the border dispute eventually. Let me add one point. China has 14 land neighboring countries, and China has already signed the border treaties with 13 of the 14 land neighboring countries, and India is the only exception. So I think this demonstrates that it will be in both China's interest and India's interest if these two countries can be wise enough to settle their border dispute one way or another. How long it will take, I do not know, but it is very encouraging that two countries are taking a first step in the right direction.
All right, Victor Gao, again, as always, we appreciate you making time for us on the program.